So we are live from Millbridge Village Camp Resort in Ronks, Pennsylvania, and I'm here with Doreen Brannon, my co-host,
hey, everybody.
Guest, favorite person right now. And then behind us is the swimming pool, and everybody's out walking around and having a good time. Tonight, we're going to talk about campground etiquette. So we need you to get involved in the comments and go ahead and put down what you think. Now we got to fix our computers. I should know how to do this, right? Oh, it's good to see everybody here. Thanks for coming by. Rowdy One was first in the house. Thanks, Rowdy. I appreciate that. And we have Camping Therapy, which is also Doreen Brannon. And
So I should be looking up there and not here.
you look wherever you want to look. That's
Okay,
where
but if I
everybody
wanna
else.
wave, I'm
That's
gonna
where
wave
everybody
here.
else is, and
Okay.
we're down here.
And I'm looking over here and waving over here.
This is her first live
Yep.
stream. She's been a guest on many live streams. I don't know if you've seen her around. She's got two great YouTube channels. One is
Punch Needle with Privies and Prims, and the other is Camping Therapy.
Camping Therapy. You know, that's when you go camping because you need therapy.
Yeah, it's cheaper than therapy.
It's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah.
We're hoping everybody can hear us. We're sitting outside. It's about 88 degrees. It's a little stifling. We've got a couple fans going. If you can't hear us, let me know. Well, I can't hear you.
Yeah, let us know if the fan is too noisy, because we just need some airflow.
And if the people behind us get too loud, you got to let us know too, and we'll tell them to get quiet.
Yeah. Or we'll just join them and go jump in the pool.
This is a good time. The kids are coming over to the rec hall and game room, and they're starting their evening games. We had a great day today. The children were on a wagon ride for the first time, this particular wagon ride. It was a wet wagon ride, so we threw water balloons at them. They enjoyed it. And we also had children doing rock painting and crafts today. So we've had a really good day. The weather's cooperated, and hopefully we won't have a thunderstorm here in just a little bit.
Looks blue.
Looks blue.
Looks blue.
I got all sidetracked. I was telling everybody hello. Weekend RVing. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you guys coming out.
I'm trying to follow the chat on my laptop, but it's kind of spinning a little bit.
We'll
So,
get there. Bobby Bear, it's good to see you.
working on it.
Linda Barker, it's good to see you too, young lady. Over to Hill RV. Thanks for coming by. Who's a wrench? Van Life with Gina Payne. Thank you for stopping by. We really do appreciate it. Oh, how did that get open? That ain't supposed to be open. Sorry. Workamper business.
Okay.
New Horizons.
I'm going to go to my phone because I've
She
lost
says she
it.
can't hear you. So when you talk that way.
Yeah, I'm going to go on my phone. So
Thanks,
I'll be
Susan. I
looking
appreciate
down.
that.
Blue Wave Odyssey, hello. And Susan, New
Bob
Horizons.
at Blue Wave, how you doing? I see you're yelling at me. It's good to see you, and I know why you do that, so you don't have to explain. I do appreciate you coming by. It's good to see you.
Can y'all hear me better if I look at the camera and talk?
Traveling deficit disorder. Hey, how are y'all? I haven't heard from you in a while. It's good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by. Retired nurse, how are you? Thanks for coming by. I missed you there for a second.
Hello, hold on.
We're still trying to get our technology straight, so bear with us.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the double duty, Bob. I understand. I got you.
Got it.
We were going to use green screen, but up on the stage, it was a little bit too hot. So we decided this would be a very good backdrop for this particular live stream. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. And hopefully nobody said that they couldn't hear us. And we're going to go ahead and start a little bit.
So you're getting a real live with real people moving
Yeah,
around.
it's about as live as it gets.
Yeah. Are you following? I've got traveling deficit is the last one.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's make sure I'm keeping up. Dominic,
Oh, Dominic
on
Yanni.
here.
You know Dominic,
I
right?
know Dominic.
Yeah. How you doing? It's good to see you guys.
Not showing on mine, Dominic. Sorry, I'm going to watch his.
I wish I had some video I was sharing today. I could show Dominic's camper. He's got it all dolled up for 4th of July. It looks really good. We have a judging contest that's going on right now. And then probably in a video, I'll let everybody know how that went and show you some of the pictures from 4th of July.
Bob and Sam's Excellent Adventure. Hello. Dominic, did you wear your Uncle Sam costume? Did he dress up for you?
I don't know. He wasn't dressed up when I was over there. Good to see you, Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure. I think you just said that.
I did.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and before we start with the whole campground etiquette, let's let Doreen tell you a little bit about her YouTube channels.
So my punch needle with Privies and Prims is about punch needle embroidery, and it's tutorials and sharing some of the things that I make and that I sell. The Camp and Therapy channel, right now I'm not camping, so I'm showing slideshow videos of past rallies I went to. I have teardrop camper rallies, Sisters on the Fly with the vintage campers, Southern Vintage Trailer Friends. I have some videos with their campers on there from rallies. And I also have a small camper for sale that is a tiny camper weighing 450 pounds. I just bought it. So one thing I want to discuss with you before you buy a camper, make sure if you're renting property that your landlord will allow you to keep it there. Because mine told me right away that I could not. I did not ask first, and now it's for sale. So there is a video of that camper on my Camping Therapy channel. You can see that.
There's also a picture of that camper right there on the screen.
Yeah, so that is a very basic camper. It only weighs 450 pounds. I'm told you can tow it with a motorcycle. It has no kitchen or bathroom or air conditioning. It's basic, and that's what makes it great for people. You can tow it with any car that has a hitch.
So if you're looking for an A-liner and you're close by or you want to drive over here and check it out, I'm sure she'll let you.
Yeah, and these are hard to find, this particular model of A-liner. It is called an A-Lite, A-L-I-T-E.
That was our one commercial for the whole live stream. That's it.
That's it. Please stop by and buy. And then I'm going to Plan B or Plan C, whatever happens that doesn't need storage.
Etsy? You want to talk about your Etsy?
My Etsy channel is Privies and Prims. It's Privies like outhouses and Prims like primitives. That is for my punch needle. I have punch needle patterns, which are 15% off right now until Monday night at midnight. I have the boards that you put your punch needle or cross stitch on. I have weaver's cloth. I have the ultra punch needle that you would do the embroidery with. And that's all on my Etsy shop. And the finished things that I've made myself. And the Etsy shop is called Privies and Prims. Second commercial. Yeah,
now we're up to 2. Sorry. Artists on the Roads, it's nice to see you. And also Bob's Adventure. Thanks for stopping by.
Hello, Bob. We have 2 Bobs.
Yes,
3
we
Bobs.
do.
We have Bob's Adventure, Bob and Tam's, and Blue Wave Odyssey.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
We're good?
That's it.
Okay. Now, if you want to join into the conversation or if you have something to say, like I said before, we're going to talk about campground etiquette. And we're going to talk about the things that make you mad when you go to a campground that either the campground itself did to you or maybe even a work camper. And then if you're a work camper, some of the things that you get upset over that the campers do, because it's sort of 2 sides to the coin, how it affects you. And that's pretty much the way people judge things. So if you don't have children, you get a little annoyed at children sometimes. If you do have children, you get a little annoyed at the old guys. So there's 2 sides to the coin. I just want to let everybody have a good G-rated, friendly conversation about pet peeves, do's, do nots, and things that you want to share as you go camping.
Hello, Senior Sister and RV Ashes in April. And I do need to do something else. I need to say hi, Mom, because I think you're watching.
Who's Charlie Grace?
Charlie Grace has dogs. She goes on with Gina a lot. Hi, Charlie Grace. She talks a lot about having dogs and pets.
Forever best friend. Forever best friend. That's a nice.
So it's forever.
Forever.
Like
Fur. Bobby Bear, you're trying to rope me into a schedule. I don't know. I really, like I said before, I really enjoy live streams. I do. They're fun. But with the summer here and all the things that are going on, I don't know if I want to commit to a schedule yet. But I do want to get back in the live streams. I do miss them, and I miss everybody more than anything. So I appreciate that comment.
Steve and I have both been work campers and campers. So we have a point of view from both sides of it. But we want to know your views, what your experiences are, what are your stories. So you can write those in the chat.
Linda says, sometimes the electric box is full of spiders. That is true.
That would mean it hasn't been used in a while.
I open it up and I wipe them out and make sure the breakers are off. But that's just something that I do. I might not get them all, but I try to get them as I go around and check all the sites.
Maybe you should make a list.
Hey,
Dominic,
come on over.
Uncle Sam's here.
Uncle Sam's here, 4th of July.
Did you put this on just for us?
You want to say hi to Brenda?
This is Dominic.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Dominic is one of our seasonal campers.
It's one of our seasonals.
I say our because I used to work here.
She feels like it's still hers.
Yeah. I actually was
You look
working
good.
here
Thanks.
when
Yeah.
he rented his seasonal spot. I was working here.
Yes, she did. She helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So what's your biggest complaint?
I have no complaints.
No complaints about other campers?
Nope, not at all. We have great neighbors in our seasonal
Wait,
site.
what about the work campers? Were they okay?
Campers are okay. Weatherman's a little off once in a while.
Yeah, Carl. It's not my fault. I can't control Carl.
You have to say we want you.
Proceeding onward in America. How are you? I miss you guys. It's good to see you.
He's going to do his Uncle Sam thing.
Okay.
We want you to come camping and enjoy the RV life.
Your beard's falling off.
That's okay.
Oh, that's live. Yeah, Uncle Sam. That's Uncle Dominic.
We have they have a site decorating contest, and he always tries to win, so he dresses up full costume so that he gets the votes.
All right, I have a couple things I wanted to read. I went to a Facebook group and I was checking out some of the things that the do's, the don'ts, the complaints, and the things that people were talking about. Real quick, biggest pet peeve is uptight campers. My gosh, let loose, have fun. Let your kids have fun. Here's another one. Relax, enjoy, respect others' privacy, and keep your site clean. This guy says, what he does not like is dogs, unruly kids, and loud adults are the worst. Dog poop's number one.
Especially if you come onto the campsite brand new and there's already dog poop there that other people have left behind.
Now, from one of the young ladies that works in the office, she said she gets a little upset with customers that think we control the weather. We do not. Carl even doesn't control the weather. The weather happens whether you like it or not. And when you go camping, you just get what you get. So the best thing to do is just make the best of it. We do try to have more inside events when the weather is bad, but it just depends. It's hard to tell with the weather. Ask Carl.
I have a friend, Carol, if she's watching. She was a work camper last year in North Carolina. She got complaints about the weather and people wanted a refund because they were tent camping, and that just doesn't happen. It's important. Always read the guidelines on the website ahead of time before you go, and you can see things like that. Do you get a refund if it rains? What's the cancellation policy? That's really important to look at that ahead of time. And she had people that actually wanted to put more water in the creek, in the forest, so that they could tube easier.
Yeah, we do that when it floods.
Yeah, we do that when it floods.
Proceeding onward in America, I'm pretty sure everybody that's here has been over and seen their channel, but they are work camping right now. They just got off work. I am sure they have a work camper video over there. If you haven't been over there to see them, go ahead and check them out. They're awesome people.
Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure says those that cut through your campsite when you're sitting outside. That's a big one. That's on Steve's list.
Yeah, that's a very big one. There were a lot of comments about children cutting through, adults cutting through, just a whole lot. People coming to their campsite and sitting at their picnic table. A whole bunch of comments about that.
Just because it's a shortcut doesn't mean it's okay.
Oops. Hold on. Hold on. Folks, RV Ashes in April. I don't know if I said hello, but hello, and I appreciate you stopping by. Folks need to remember that it's going to get loud on weekends. More people, more kids, more campfires. That is so true. The thing about camping is, you know, you've waited for a long time to go on this particular camping trip, and you expect to have a good time. So me personally, I try to let, you know, rules bend a little bit, but I don't want anybody to encroach on someone else's weekend as well. So it's a delicate situation, but yes, people are there to have a good time. And if it gets a little loud and it's not too loud, okay, that's okay. But you got to be careful because someone else will complain because it's too loud. So it's very difficult. It's like 12 people in a car trying to decide what restaurant they're going to. Everybody wants to do something different. But as a group, as a family campground, you want to be able to get along with everybody. So there's sometimes compromise.
Which kind of brings to the subject of quiet time. And Steve had a lot
quiet
of
time.
On
Yep.
So you can have your kids, you can make your noise. When I was a work camper, one of the things was outside speakers on trailers after quiet time. Quiet time here is 10 at night till 8 in the morning. So you really need to turn off those outside speakers at 10 o'clock because the camper next to you should not be able to hear it.
Quiet hours is a big deal. And the unfortunate thing is when it starts to get dark, everything starts to get quiet, your voice carries more and more, especially if you got a little music going and then everybody's trying to talk over the music. Add a little alcohol and the next thing you know, everybody's screaming and they don't really realize it. So it's difficult. Now for us, it's difficult because then we have to go outside and spoil somebody's fun. And that's never fun.
Yeah, one time it was somebody's birthday party, and we understand that. But the people on either side of you, which here they're not real far apart, it's not their birthday party and they're trying to sleep. So you have to remember that and be considerate. So just kind of have your party earlier and then quiet down after 10 o'clock. And then on the other part of that, if your kids are playing basketball at 7 o'clock in the morning out by the playground and everybody's hearing bump, 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 it's a very annoying way to wake up. And they're camping, they want to sleep in, they want to relax. So keep your kids at the campsite until quiet time is over. Yep. Woke me up.
Retired nurse. Having respect for clean restrooms by the campers. Campers, please don't yell at the housekeeping people when they're cleaning. Another delicate situation, you know, obviously when you go into a campground restroom or bathhouse, you want it to be nice. You want it to be clean. And I think as a camper, that is an expectation that you should have. At the same time, work campers hope that you go in there and you keep it clean and not leave stuff laying on the floor or other places. Hair in the sink or your leftover bottle of shampoo in the shower. So it's a mutual thing, but yes, restrooms is always a big one.
And keep in mind too, if you want to complain about the work camper, they may have just left and cleaned that place spotless. And then somebody came in 5 minutes later and trashed it. So it's not always their fault.
New Horizon says, it's a little bit annoying when people park their vehicle on your campsite. And there's nothing better than coming into the campground after you get off work, a little late, but not after quiet hours, and there sits a vehicle in your spot. And what makes it even more difficult is they don't have a tag so that I know who that vehicle belongs to. Then I go around and knock on camper doors and let somebody know that they should not park in someone else's spot.
That actually happened here one time. Somebody parked because a lot of times the husband will drive the truck towing the camper and then the wife will come with the kids in the car. So they left the truck in an empty campsite. and they went in the car and they went to Hershey Park, which is 45 minutes away. Well, that empty campsite was rented to somebody else. And when they got here, they couldn't park their camper in there, and the campground was full because it was a holiday. So we had to call, always make sure the office has your cell phone number. We had to call the people that left their truck there. They had to stop what they were doing and come back and move their vehicles so that the trailer could get in.
Yeah, B-Bear, she's over in Washington or Oregon. I can't remember, B-Bear. But right now their camper side is really not open yet. They got like a seasonal or a full-time side that's open, and I guess they're waiting on the all clear. Here, we're open. We're still wearing masks in the store and inside enclosures, practicing, the standard stay 6 feet apart and all that good stuff. But she said that people are still confronting her going, why aren't your campsites open? And it's really not her control.
Dogs left in the camper all day barking.
Yes.
Last year, I came up here to visit when I was still living in North Carolina. I didn't come to this campground, but I went to a nearby one, and I stayed in a camping cabin. And the guy in the cabin next to me, so I was a guest, I wasn't working there. The guy staying in the cabin next to me was working in the area, and he had a huge hound dog in his cabin. So every morning at 6 or 6:30, you would hear this dog howling. And when he left for work, the dog would just sit there and howl constantly. So they did have to call him to come back, and he wasn't allowed to leave the dog in the cabin anymore. So it might be good if you do leave your dog to ask the neighbors when you get back, did my dog make any noise? Because you might think they didn't, but they actually did.
Well, we call, if somebody complains to the office, we call the owners. Right. But yeah, pets are a big one. People that are your biggest, wasn't it? Yeah, I think pets, yeah, pretty much. Maybe courtesy, campfires, but pets are a big one. Some people love pets. Some people don't necessarily love pets. I don't know what's wrong with people that don't love pets, but that's okay. That's a personal choice. But a lot of the complaints were, or the do's and the don'ts, or the pet peeves were dogs barking late at night, dogs left in the camper while the person wasn't there, or maybe they're at the pool unattended and the dog's just barking. Or dogs off a leash. And probably number one was pick up your poop. I think for a majority of campers, 90% are okay. Maybe there's even less. I don't know. But I do know that some people do not pick up the poop from the dogs. Here. Right. See it all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll put the dog on the leash when you tell them to, and then when you go away, they take the dog off the leash, and they tell you that my dog's okay, it'll stay with me, it won't run. There are people that are afraid of dogs. Whether your dog is the kindest dog on earth, there are people that are afraid of your dog. There are other dogs that will go after your dog and lunge at it. So it's not only for other people's protection, you may be protecting your dog by keeping it on a leash.
And unfortunately, some dogs are campground dogs and some dogs may not be. I'm not talking about breeds or anything like that, but some dogs just aren't ready for campgrounds. They bark at everything. They chase everything.
And on the subject of breeds, if you have the breed, like here, it's Dobermans, Rottweilers, and Pit Bulls are not allowed. It's not the campground owner's fault. It's insurance company. That's their regulations. Don't blame the campground for it. And it's always best to call if there's any question before you go. The thing is, if you don't call, then you get there, you've driven all that way, you paid all the money, you get there, and then you find out you can't stay there with your dog. You're going to be mad at the campground, and it's just best for you to check ahead of time if there's any questions.
RV Ashes in April, we were talking about noise, and he said, whoever decided that TVs need to be on the outside of the camper should be fired. It just sort of increases the possibility of noise. But, a lot of people like to sit out and watch their TV.
I've seen parties where they get everybody in a circle and they're watching the race or they're watching the game.
Or YouTube.
And again, just observe the quiet times and it's not a problem.
Daydream about nice things. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Gary.
How you doing? I appreciate you stopping by. And I think my screen took
I
off
don't
on
mind
me.
that you're late, Gary. We know you're busy. Tell us how your yard sale went.
Yeah, Bobby Bear's in Oregon. Senior sister, it's good to senior sister stuff.
Yes, she keeps changing her name.
Senior sister stuff. It's good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Let's see what we got. Wonder if people throw trash around their house.
Oh, one time, people left bags of dog poop at their campsite when they left. Now, I don't know if they left that there for the work camper to clean up or if they meant to take it to the dumpster on their way out and they forgot. But that's not really a cool thing to do. You don't leave bags of dog poop on your site. And one time, stacking fire pits. We actually had a camper here that stacked 3 fire pits up and had blazing fire coming out of it. That's not allowed either. You were going to bring the rule sheet. And go over that,
My
right?
goodness. Yeah, I forgot it. We got a megastar in the house. Hold
What
on.
is it?
Hold on. Camper Life just showed up.
Camper life. Hey.
I feel blessed now. This is great. Thanks, Camper Life. Megastar. Well, Bob was first. He showed up on time.
Dumping your gray water on the campsite is not allowed either. So it's not a good thing to just hope that everybody's going to turn their head and not say anything. It's just not allowed. We've had a camper do that one time, emptied out their tank before they left.
Timmy Ray, the Kings. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Speed limits. You know, I can't hardly drive 5 miles per hour. It's really, really difficult, but it's important because kids, they dart out all over the place. Even when I'm driving our cart for the campground, those kids, they drive their bikes, they zoom around. It's so, so important to watch out for children and keep your vehicle speeds down.
I think one thing when people come in and when I've had to say something to people, nicely, you need to slow down because it's 5 miles an hour and there's kids running around and they think they are going slow. So I figured out what that is. You're coming in off a road that's like 40, 45 miles an hour. And then you come into the campground and you think you are going slow, but you're really going like 25 or 30. To go 5 miles an hour, you pretty much almost have to ride the brake. So pay attention to that when you're going through because there are bushes here and buildings and campers and the kids just come right out on their bikes and there's no way you could stop.
We got another megastar, mega YouTube channel back in the house. Oh my goodness, RV SWAT. How you doing? How you guys doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time. I need to call you. I need to catch up. It's good to see you here. I appreciate you stopping by.
Nursing Our Travel Bug is here. They are a traveling nurse and they live in their
Where
RV.
we missed them?
Right here.
Oh, okay. All right. It comes up a little bit later. It's good to see you guys. Johnny and Tracy, RV SWAT, fellow YouTube creators and workampers. I think they're out at the thing out on I-10 in somewhere in Arizona. Great people, great channel. You guys should check them out.
Timmy Ray the King, hello to you. Thanks for coming over.
You said nursing a travel bug, right?
Nursing Our Travel Bug right here. Yeah. So
All right.
Gary says that you're turtle slow. Turtle slow.
I'm not turtle slow.
That's actually my mom's nickname. We call her Turtle because she knows a little slow.
It's good to see you, Gary. I appreciate that. Campfires. I want to talk a little bit about campfires. Somebody says, don't smoke out your neighbor with your green firewood. And don't go to bed at night with your fire blazing because it'll burn down and just smolder and smoke out everybody over there trying to have a conversation.
And it actually goes in the windows of other campers around you.
And so many people said this, don't burn plastic.
Because it smells.
Don't leave them unattended.
And what have you had in your campfires? What have you found in the fire rings?
Oh,
After people leave,
I put them in my videos all the time. My number one pet peeve of all things is fire rings. And it's really not that big a deal. You just clean them out. What drives me crazy is the fact that people do it. If you put something in the fire and it burns and it's not plastic or something that won't burn, it's really not so big of a deal. But when people put things in there at the end of their day, or it's just like a trash can. And then I got to go in there and handle everything and clean it out, especially cigarette butts. I don't smoke, so I don't want to pick them up. It's my job, so I do it. I don't mind. It's just the thing. sort of gets under my skin.
And your soda cans and beer cans, they won't burn.
They melt a little bit, but I usually end up pulling those out too. But I find everything, leftover food, marshmallows, half cooked, somebody's sandwich, beer cans, beer bottles, whatever's left over.
Want to give some input? Camping etiquette. What's your worst problem with camping etiquette? Biggest complaint? What is it?
What
I
was
didn't
it?
hear you. She forgets to bring stuff. Even though she makes a list, yeah.
I
That's what the campground store is for.
am sure everybody has left the house without something and got to the campground and realized that.
Here comes Jill.
Oh, okay. I'll let them know. Thank you.
We're letting you know.
All right, alcohol. Oh,
You didn't even see her coming.
Jill's in the house. She's on the other side of the camera, though. Oh, no, she's up to something. You know, she'll be over here messing with me.
So, Jill, we have to tell you they want shot glasses in the gift shop.
I have heard that before. How about that?
All right, Johnny Tracy, I'm waiting for it.
Americana.
I'll be looking for it. Thanks.
That's the company right there. Yeah, they sell them. Get the little horse and buggy on them.
All right, I'm trying to catch up on our comments a little bit.
Would you all
I'm
like
sure-
to be on YouTube?
I'm sure I'll miss something. Gary says hi.
Hi, Gary.
We're talking about YouTube, YouTube. We're talking about campground etiquette. So, what would be a big complaint about other campers of what they do that bothers you?
You just got here, so I'm not going to complain.
Oh.
About anything.
Okay.
I like this stuff.
What are you
It's
happy
red, white,
about?
and blue. Did you guys plan that?
Look at that.
We can win the prize.
Well, welcome. I hope you guys are having a good time.
We are. We've seen your YouTube video.
Oh my goodness,
We're
thank
on
you.
live right now.
You're very,
You're on YouTube.
you're very nice.
Are these three with you three?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Hey, there he goes. He did it.
Down.
Okay.
And he wasn't even drinking.
Steve fell off the chair. There's about a 8-inch curb drop
Yeah.
off there, and he went back. And he said that before the live. He said, "I'm probably going to fall off this thing."
Break my cranium. Live. Oh, come on, RV dog. I'm not drinking. All right, I got to gain my composure. What time is it? Man,
Are you okay? Blue Wave Odyssey said, "Are you?"
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, we're just laughing.
I'm okay.
At him, right?
I'm just trying to drive the views up.
Got to do it for the channel.
I knew I was going to do it.
We didn't even ask if you're okay. We're just laughing at you.
Where'd my Jill go? You done? All right. Sorry about that. Slight interruption. Down goes the turtle. Laugh out, Steve. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. Thanks, Bob. I'm doing all right. No, I was not drinking. I was trying not to. I was going to be good.
The turtle fell off the wagon.
Yeah, turtle fell off the wagon. And anyway, that brings us to my next bullet point. Alcoholic beverages. Campgrounds are family-oriented places, not bar rooms.
It's not the place to come. You know, sometimes people would call here and you could tell it was a young group and they wanted a place to party, and we would just tell them this is not the place. This is a family campground.
Yeah.
And you need to keep your alcohol at your campsite too. That's one thing. You can't walk around with it.
Yeah, Bob, but you jumped off the bridge on purpose. That was an accident.
Are you okay for real?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
Corhan, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
People,
Wow, yeah. Thanks, RV Weekend.
good thing you didn't fall on your back. Yeah, he kind of rolled. He was off camera. I should have moved it to film him, but
Hi,
he
Susan.
kind of did a roll.
Lucky dog moderator.
This one, Bear said, "Good thing you didn't fall on your back." Lucky Dog Productions moderator.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
So, alcoholic beverages. Get really drunk and annoy your neighbors. You know, it's okay to have a couple drinks, but when you get annoying, it's not really fun.
It's not fun for anybody else.
And sometimes alcohol will make you get loud. And then someone put in there, it's a campground, not a bar or a strip club. I don't know where that came from.
That's for Jack Scrapper, Captain Jack Scrapper.
Captain
Keep your
Jack,
clothes
Captain
on when
Jack
you're at the
Scrapper.
campground.
Courtesy. Disrespectful people. Now, I don't know that happens a lot, but I'm sure there's been a conversation or two where somebody gets a little pointed and felt like they were being disrespectful. We talked about cutting through the campsite. Do not take shortcuts through the campsite. Here's one, and I didn't really think about it, but outside porches left on at night. So if your porch light is on, it's in the neighbor's bedroom, sort of, maybe, kind of.
Yeah, it goes through their windows.
And then someone says they hate getting there and have to clean somebody else's garbage. Here's one that I thought was really interesting. And then if you've ever done this, go ahead and type yes down in the comments. Using someone else's shower. That's frowned upon.
That was one I've never heard of when I read that.
I've only done that one time, and
I mean,
it was by mistake.
If it's your friend and they say, hey, you don't have a shower, but we do, you can come use ours. But I don't think that's what this is talking about.
I'm very loud at my campsite.
I read this on Facebook one time. Here's the thing. If you have an outside shower at your camper and you're in a campground with other people around, when you pull that shower curtain, do not turn a light on in there at night because you're giving everybody a show. So they're pulling up their chairs and watching the silhouette of you getting a shower. So you want to make sure you don't have a light on in that outdoor shower. True story. I read it on Facebook, so it has to be true.
Well, I have another true story. When can you tell William from Camper Life is telling a lie? When his mouth's moving.
What are all the no's for?
Huh?
Oh, they've never used anybody else's
They never
shower.
used anybody else's shower.
Okay.
Well, that's good because that's normal, not to use someone else's shower.
He sent these things to me earlier in email, and that one kind of threw me because I've never heard of that.
What about dogs? Dogs and cats at campgrounds.
Dogs and cats. We sometimes cats get out. We had a couple. I've worked here for 3 seasons, and we had a couple cats get lost. They do, they're inside cats, but sometimes you have the door open just a little bit long, and they sneak out. One thing I saw on Facebook, you can get those ring tags. It's like cardstock with a little metal ring around
Right.
it with a little key ring on it. If you get those, I think they sell them at Dollar Tree even. Get a pack of those. I saw this suggestion. Write your site number on it and put it on the collar of your dog or cat. That way, if that animal is found, they know who it belongs to. And always keep your shot records. When you're trapped, not your shot records, your animal's shot records. Because
Your shot records?
No, your animal's shot records. Because we had a dog bite here when I was working here one time. Actually, my son got bit. He was working here, and the dog was on one of those extendable leashes.
Uh-huh.
It was a little ankle biter, they call them.
Yeah.
Never bit anybody before. The lady said it's never bitten anybody before, but it went and lunged at my son's ankle, and it pulled that leash. So those leashes aren't, even though it was locked, it pulled it and it bit him and broke skin. They did not have their shot records with it to prove that the dog had a rabies shot or anything, and they lived in New Jersey. So they had to go home to get the shot records. So take a picture of it, keep it on your phone, or carry it with you. Always have that with you. Some campgrounds require it that you show it when you arrive if you have a pet. So that's a good thing to always have with you.
Lost a cat at a campground. Lady was upset.
Yeah, we did have cats lost here, but they usually would find them.
I got to say this one.
Has Turtle
Whoa.
had all his shots?
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly.
Nelly RV.
She goes to the edges of cliffs for her videos.
Yes.
They just fall off an 8-inch drop.
That was an awesome video. Yes, I have all my shots. I'm caught up. I had a tetanus not long ago because I stuck my thumb on a nail, and I'm good.
That's right, RV dog. Everybody will say their dog never bit anybody, and maybe it didn't. I had a dog one time. It bit one person, and the whole time I had that dog, the lady walked over, the dog got up, went over and bit her, and went back and laid down. No reason.
All right, children, only a couple things. I I think children should have a blast at the campground. They should be out there screaming, having a good time. Quiet times, time for them to settle down.
If it gets dark, they need
here-
to be back at the campground when it gets dark.
Here, when it gets dark, no riding the bikes. Should be back at the campground. I think here it's 10 o'clock.
Actually, campsite.
It's
Their
here.
campsite.
Campsite's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, at 10
'Cause they
o'clock.
like
I think
to-
here it's at dark.
They like to play.
I think it's at dark. They
It's
have to
not
be back
hide and
at dark.
seek anymore.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, cops and robbers or something. Screaming unruly children. Keep kids under control. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You know, anytime you have a situation, you'll have somebody that don't necessarily agree with it. There are some that are acceptable and some that may not be. Adults, no swearing, please. Always remember that there's children in the campground. That is one of the things that we should not do.
Something about the children. A lot of people sit at their campsites and then they let the kids run free all over the campground. If you can see them, that's okay. But a lot of people, in my experience, just think because it's a campground, they're safe. And that may not be the case. And so, I mean, I just always worry there. You don't know who is at that campground. There's 100 campsites here. You don't know all the people in this campground.
So
And I'm not saying anything about this campground in particular, just any campground. You don't know that there's not a bad person in that campground. So keep your children within your sight. That's what I would say.
So at 9 o'clock, we open the pool right behind us. So
9
at
a.m.
8:30,
Yeah.
a.m. At 8:30, you know, we go up there and we start cleaning it and take the filter out and make sure the levels are right and all that good stuff. And little boy standing there at the gate and he says, "Is the pool open yet?" I said, "Nope, 30 more minutes." 5 minutes go by and he says, "Is the pool open yet?" And I go, "Nope, 25 more minutes." Go about the business. So this went on over a course of time. You know how the questions go. 9 o'clock comes. He says, "The pool open yet?" I said, "Yep." He said, "Okay." I said, "Where's your adult?" I got to have an adult. Yes.
Yeah.
Children can't go to the pool by themselves. They have to have an adult.
I think, is it 12 and under?
I think we have 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we posted 14.
Yeah, there's no lifeguard. So
Yeah, children-
they have to have somebody with them.
Children have to have fun. It's very important for me. I love to see them out in the park having a good time.
I see Gary says the difference between racket and fun is if it's your kids or not.
Well, you know, earlier, Gary, we were talking about that, and that's so true. If you're old and cranky like me, you might not necessarily enjoy children. You know, if you're not a grandparent or something like that. But if you're a grandparent and you're old and cranky like me, you enjoy children. So it all depends on your perspective. So a bunch of children over here playing, having a good time, screaming might be fun and joyous for me, but for the next guy, it might be boring and very upsetting. So it all depends. And the problem is that we all got to get along and, you know, make some concessions and make it work out.
You might want to ask if you don't want to be around children, is your campsite going to be near the playground? You know, when we start to fill up, usually some of the last ones to get full, because they might have been the smallest or something, would be near the playground. So I would always tell people when they call for a reservation, this is next to the playground, right next to the playground. Is that okay with you? And that way they know there's going to be kids playing, 15 feet from their camper. If they're not okay with that, they're not going to be happy there. And I'd rather they not come rather than them come and complain.
Timmy Ray the King, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Go take care of your lights. I understand.
Blue Wave is still a kid, he says.
Bob said he's still a kid and he's 24.
64.
Oh, 64. I'm sorry.
64.
64. All right. Hey, how are you, young lady? Here's a couple do nots. Do not go in the woods and chop down our trees. If you burn them, they're going to be green anyway. Wouldn't do you any good. This is one that I thought was really interesting, and it's a very good thing. And I never really thought about it. If the power is in short supply, like on a weekend where every campsite is full, don't leave your AC on max when you go out for the day. Just turn it back a little bit. And that's a very courteous thing to do for the next guy.
That could kind of go into your video streaming too. If you've got kids and all four of them want to stream videos on their phones, maybe it's a time to take the phone and let them go play outside. Because when everybody's streaming, like I had to turn my phone off. I couldn't even follow this one here. It's a full weekend, so that makes a big difference on the internet capacity. If you depend on the internet, I would say have a backup plan because you're not always going to have it. I went to one campground and it was perfect internet. The next time I went there, it was horrible. So it's kind of like if you have it, it's a bonus. But if you really depend on it, like for your job or something really important, have a backup plan. The more people here, the less the internet's going to be. And that's pretty much at any campground, not just here.
Don't fire up your diesel at 6:15 in the morning and let it warm up for 30 minutes outside of somebody's camper.
Oh, I had somebody one time, I was, again, staying in a camping cabin. It was in Pigeon Forge. And they were getting ready to leave. And I don't even think it was 6 o'clock in the morning yet. It was still dark. And they kept slamming doors because they were loading their car. Mm-hmm. And they kept slamming doors. And then the lady was trying to get the tailgate up on the truck. And she kept going, boom, boom, boom. And I finally had to go out and say something to them. And then they got quiet. But they just don't think. They think we're up, and they don't think about other people that are still sleeping. And that was still dark in the morning.
Daydream about nice things. No, she didn't bring her camper. She has it in her backyard. Oh, excuse me. In her next door neighbor's yard.
Yeah, I had to rent a spot because my landlord gave me 1 day to get it off the property. Wasn't a good situation. He's Amish. He's not a camper. He doesn't understand.
Love the smell of diesel in the morning.
Daydream, we did have a picture of it earlier, and there is a video on my channel, a video tour before I knew that I had to get rid of it. And I talked about what I was going to do to fix it up and make it a little glamper. So you can see that video. You've already seen it, Gary. Thanks for watching. But anybody else, go to Camping Therapy and you can see the little camper that's for sale.
And don't assume that your music is loved by everyone else.
Right. We can get that with cars riding down the road.
Everybody has different taste in music.
Cars riding down the road in the summer and they're blasting their rap music, and we don't all want to hear it.
Here's some awesome do's. Say hello and wave good day. Help your neighbor drink all their brews. Booze and booze.
Brews after you fall
I
off.
have not been drinking. Always leave it cleaner than when you found it. Do invite your neighbor for a beer, coffee, or ice. Or iced tea. I said ice, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not following.
I think for the general part, campers are the most friendly, nice people that you'll find. And if you see somebody new, and it's obvious they don't know what they're doing, don't just sit there and get the camera out and videotape them. Get up and offer to help because you were new once too. I mean, I can't back up a camper. So I always just find the first man I see and ask him to back it up. And I always say, he gets his ego fed because he gets to back up the camper and be macho. I get my camper parked and everybody's happy. But this new one that I have for sale, I can move it around by hand. It only weighs 450 pounds.
Yeah, it's very small.
So I can just unhook it and move it.
Okay. That's it. Anything? What do you got?
That's it. We got 11 more minutes.
Got 11 minutes.
So guys, tell us, what questions do you have? We both have been, Steve's a work camper now. I've been a work camper. What questions do you have? Something just went across the floor.
I'm planning on a Workamper update video coming up soon. It's going to include Memorial Day, Father's Day, and 4th of July. So I'll have some video from that. I'll talk about the campground, what's open, what's closed, and what we're doing here at the campground that's new. Got a lot of new things going on this year, but I'll put that in a video coming up soon.
Does Steve Turtle really own an RV? Camper Life wants to know.
Yes, I do.
He really does.
I do. I'd put it up on the green screen, but I don't have the green screen up. We're showing the campground.
Fireflies behind you.
Oh, you can see the fire. Oh, I can see fireflies. Yes, it's really peaceful. It's actually cooled off pretty nicely. I think the evening's going to be really nice. We thought about walking around and showing you some of the campground. Maybe another time we might do something like that. I just thought it'd be something different, something fun. So I invited Doreen over, sort of co-host, and we could talk about campground etiquette and see what everybody thought. Now, like I said before, everybody's different. Everybody has different expectations, wants, desires, and all that good stuff. And sometimes what you do, you don't necessarily know that it affects someone else and vice versa. The big thing is we all got to get along, figure it out, and make it work. And yes, camper life, I do have a house, but I don't live in it.
I live 3 miles from this campground, so that's why I'm over here. Thank you, senior sister. You say I'm a wise woman. I have years. I have some gray hair. Not really gray, it's white. My son tells me it's gray. If he's watching, I acknowledge that, but it's not gray, it's white. Doreen is the real star of the show. You always fall down on the job.
Literally. Did you see it? That was crazy. We talked about it beforehand, and I said, sure enough, I'm going to fall. She said, it'll be good for the views.
Yeah, it'll be live.
I'll have to do like the RV Odd Couple. I'll put like a thumbnail up. It says, Steve Turtle falls off a cliff.
You can screenshot. You can go back through the video, and you can screenshot that and use it as a thumbnail.
Sensationalize it for the views. No, come on. That's not how YouTube works.
So artists on the road, you're seeing the fireflies. When I look at the screen, it's a lot darker on there than it looks in person when we look out here. It still looks really light to us in person, but on the screen, it looks like it's darker out.
Yes, the campground sells ice cream. We've got these ice creams. They come like in a cone, and it's all different colors. It's really tasty, and down in the bottom is bubble gum.
And he had one, and that's why he's asking.
Oh, he had one?
Camper Life had one on your video.
He was on my video?
He was on your video.
That's funny.
So he's being funny.
I
Hit
went-
the like button. Yes, please hit the like button, everybody.
Oh,
It
wait,
helps the
hold it.
channel.
There's a like button? Where's it at?
It's on YouTube.
Should I hit it?
It's on YouTube. It helps the channel if you hit that thumbs up. It's not just like for his ego. It really helps his channel. So always hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment when you watch a video. Check out Camping Therapy. I need some more subscribers.
Actually, that video that you just did about the A-liner
Oh my
was
gosh.
like 600 views already.
It was almost 700 when
Yeah,
I left house
yeah.
tonight, and that was my highest video. The next one down would be my Scamp that I used to own, the Scamp remodel. That was 300 and something. But this A-liner video that I just put on, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, I think. And it's like almost 700 views already. It may be over that by now because I flooded Facebook with it because it's for sale.
It just goes to show content is king. When you put out a video that everybody really wants to watch, they're going to get over there and they're going to give you some views. That's just the way it is. And I don't know, my content's a little awful these days, so I guess I'm going to have to do a A-liner.
Yes, have me
Video.
more often.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's not just an A-liner that got it; it's the A-liner A-light because it's they're so hard to find.
It's
that
rare.
It's kind of rare, and that's why if you just put an A-liner, I have.
Wait,
Now I don't have another A-liner video, but I don't think just a regular A-liner would have got those views. This is something that they stopped making in 2013, and somebody said they don't make them anymore. They asked the A-liner company, and they said they won't bring them back because it wasn't a profit maker.
they do that. That's life. Everybody does that.
Retired nurse? No.
Thanks, Rowdy One. Rowdy One's coming to visit me again. We're going to have a big hoot nanny end of July. You coming?
Sure.
We're going to have a big hoot nanny.
Yes.
Anybody else wants to come on up? Come on up. We'll make sure you get a site.
We're going to have a meetup?
Sure, we'll have a meetup. Actually, we have our friends coming over. So it's our friends invasion from the hometown that I'm from, not far from here, about 45 minutes. So they're coming up, and I've invited some other people. Like I just invited Doreen, and
I only have to drive 3 miles.
Rowdy One's coming, and Camper Life. I think Camper Life, are you coming?
The website for this campground is millbridge.com. So it's real easy to remember, millbridge.com. Still Good Sam Park?
Yeah, no.
No?
Oh,
no.
No,
Okay,
we're not
never
Good
mind.
Sam's. We're better than Good Sam's. We're 12, 12, 12.
You don't have Good Sam discount
We have
anymore?
military,
AARP.
AARP and XYZ. I don't know. I don't work in the office.
Okay, it might be Good Sam discount, and it might be AARP.
Yes, Good Sam's.
Good Sam is you just
Military?
Told me you work Good Sam.
No, I was confused.
Okay.
I have not been drinking.
Good Sam was the best discount when I worked here. It's 10% off. So millbridge.com and come over. We'll have a meetup. What are the dates?
I don't
It's in Ronks, Pennsylvania, Lancaster County, Amish country. There's a farm right there.
Yeah,
I've
I'll
been
put it-
watching
I'll
the
put it-
Amish kids in the yard playing in the horse poo.
I'll put it in the community tab.
They do. They play in the horse corral and they're barefoot.
Well, of
and
course they do.
They've got all their natural antibodies out there.
All right. Lucky Dog Moderate
But they're
Campus
cute.
Therapy is a great sidekick for you. I think so, right?
Yeah.
Sidekick.
He's trying to get me to go full time. So because of this camper situation, people have said to me that I need to move. Because who would want to rent from somebody that wouldn't let you have a camper in your yard? If you could see the size of this yard, and they won't let me have this camper is 5 foot wide by 6.5 feet long, and they won't let me have it. So it's really unreasonable. Anyway, people have told me to move. So that's plan C. Plan B is to convert a minivan. Plan C is to move full-time into a camper and travel and be a work camper again. And he kind of planted that seed in my mind to do that. So
I'm just saying it's not for everybody, but I think it'd be
Yeah.
perfect for you.
yeah, it might happen. And then I can go see Scott in Appreciation and Box Van D and
Everybody.
all the guys
Just
all
do a-
over.
Do a
Just
community
travel.
tour.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they live on BLM land out in Arizona,
Yeah.
and that's free. And I like to move. I just don't like to move stuff. So that would be good because you just hook up and go, and you don't have to pack or unpack. I did it before when I lived here. I lived in an R-Pod when I was full-time work camper. I had no problem with it until there was a storm, and the camper starts shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in the office at midnight and stayed in the cinder block building until the storm was over because I was scared. I was under the trees and the camper was moving from the wind.
Gary, who's next? Who's got a live stream next? Can you hook us up with a link?
Breathalyzers are not used at this campground. Just saying. That was scary.
I've been so absent and absent-minded. I don't know who's
The weekend
next.
of the 30th, Rowdy said. Is it July 30th?
Where's my sticker? Right there. Well, Nellie, she says she likes that. Say again.
So what? I'm going to look at the calendar and see. July 30th is a Thursday. Is that it?
Yes.
That's the weekend?
Yeah.
So it'll be July 30th, 31st, and 1st
Yes.
of August.
I'm pretty sure.
Millbridge.com. I got to give a shout out for Brian because my fridge broke and he lent me a dorm fridge to use for the weekend till we get a service guy out there.
That's the owner of the park.
Yeah, because the service technicians are not answering my landlord's phone calls over the weekend. So the owner here lent me a little dorm fridge to use for my sweet tea. So I got to give him a shout out. Come to Millbridge.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
Okay. What else?
Is that it?
Hey, Beyond Beauty 3, hello.
BB3, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Does anybody know who is next? Is anybody else coming on? Minivan conversion and work camp. Gary, I will not work camp in a minivan conversion. That's a little too small for me. My R-Pod was 17 feet and that was perfect. I would probably do it in a 13-foot scamp. That would be my first choice, but I would not do it in a minivan. I need to be able to stand up if I'm full-time. The minivan is only, 4 feet high?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's the pros, the Pro Masters.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Plenty of
about
time.
like a Dodge Grand Caravan because then the seats go into the floor.
Okay, that's our time. We don't want to encroach on somebody else's time. I don't know who's next. Go out there and find them. If you got notifications turned on, you'll know. I appreciate everybody showing up.
Thanks for coming.
If you enjoyed this little shindig, hootenanny, hit like down below and smash that subscribe button if you'd like to see more.
And maybe
Go over
we'll
and
do it
visit.
again. We could do it on the weekend that you have the meetup. We can all crowd in away from the edge.
Yeah.
And be on
Yeah.
the screen at the same time.
Oh, we can do it.
I'm volunteering you
I'll
because I
probably
don't want
fall
to
again.
run a live. I don't mind being on one, but I don't want to run it.
That's it.
Bye,
Go over,
Mom.
go over and visit Camper Life, or excuse me, not Camper Life,
Not
Camping
don't
therapy.
visit Camper Life,
Camping
visit
therapy. Camping therapy.
But you can visit Camper Life too.
We appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Until later, thanks for your time. Bye.
Hit the thumbs up.